What's going on, everyone? This is Adam and Craig with Grandstand Golf. In this show, we're talking 2020 Mayakoba Golf Classic, Round 3 DFS Showdown targets.
That makes sense, actually, because it'd be weird if you're talking like the 2019 Mayakoba Golf Classic Round 3 or the 2021.
And I think by now I should know that it's called Mayakoba and not Mayakoba. But every intro I've messed up. But
well,
hey.
Keep it going then. Keep the train rolling.
Let's keep it going. Round 2 didn't finish. They had to push back the start time an hour. We didn't get it finished. 18 players still on the course. The cut line is, I think, locked in at 1 under. So there's a couple of guys kind of in the.
It could move. There's two guys. It's unlikely. You'd have to have 2 guys playing holes that are averaging over par. It could move to 2, but it'd be a very, very long shot.
I stand corrected. There we go. One thing we did notice with the weather, the AM, PM, PM, AM splits are actually pretty significant over a stroke, which you don't always see. But the PM, the afternoon, and then the morning wave for Friday actually played quite a bit easier. So if you're looking at it possibly for the weekend, at least I am, those guys that played in the harder splits and are playing well, I like that because they had to go through tougher conditions. They might actually be playing well than their score shows.
Makes sense. That checks out.
Tournament contests, about 9% of 6 or 6 through. It wasn't a bloodbath like we had at the RSM, but still under 10%.
Yep.
One thing of significance, I think in the last few tournaments at least, Craig, we've had the round 3 go from the inside out. So the guys kind of in the 30th, 25th position actually started first. So if you are looking to stack a wave, we don't know the tee times right now because it's still unfinished. So just be aware if you are looking to get guys first thing out, it might not be the last guys.
Yeah, and based on what we're seeing, I'll flip over to the weather here, but based on what we're seeing, it doesn't look like there's a huge advantage anywhere in the weather. Yeah. So I think it's much less relevant than some of these times where we know there's going to be wind in the afternoon, and so you really want to make sure you have guys who are out early. So yeah, it really hasn't affected my decision making so far for showdown targets.
I honestly think, there's some rain calling for tomorrow. I think we're finally going to get like those 7, 8 under rounds. I think it's going to be good, low scoring.
Yeah. The other thing is I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if they do go with 2T start because they might not be finishing this tournament on the weekend otherwise. And so if they do want to try to get play through as fast as they can because of some of these thunderstorm warnings and just the weather we might see on the weekend, it really wouldn't be surprising to see them cram everyone out there.
Yeah. The greens, it seems like everyone's leaving the putt short. I don't know if that's what you've seen from the broadcast, but I think they're going to continue to be slow. But finally, I think the guys are just going to put some pace behind it and be like, get this 1.5 foot past.
Yeah.
No matter what.
Yeah. I think they're also just hard greens to read.
Yeah. Bumpy. A little bit bumpy. Let's get into round 3 picks, though. We did pretty well on Friday. Let's continue into Saturday. My first pick, Abraham Ancer. He's also my one and done. 9,200 on DraftKings for Saturday. He's gone 72, 67. He's 3 under. The 67 was actually a clean bogey-free round. So something I really like to see going into the weekend. But he's still underperforming. So he's been pretty talked about as a favorite coming in. He's underperforming for that. So if you look at his driving accuracy for 2 days, he's at 57%. On his season, he's 69%. His putting through 2 days is 98th ranked in the field. For the season, in the field, he's actually 42nd. So we saw an improvement on Friday. I think we'll continue to see improvement on Saturday. I like the fact that he went bogey-free. I think his stats are going to continue to improve. He could go out and try to get one of the last tee times on Sunday. Just have a really good Saturday. That's how I think Ancer's
going to go. I don't think he's going to be in the last tee time on Saturday, or on Sunday.
I said one of the last.
But I definitely thought that your guy, both you and Kev had him for your one and done. I was feeling pretty good about myself until he really charged today.
Thank goodness it wasn't Henley. Whew.
Yeah. So the one thing with Ancer, I'm still a little bit hesitant just based on ownership. I think there is still a bit of a hype associated with him in this tournament that is going to make his ownership higher than it should be the whole way through. But because a lot of the people around him in price are low, quite low scoring, it might mean this is the first time you don't have that really heavy ownership on him.
Yeah.
My first one here, I think he is someone you had mentioned yesterday, actually.
I did, and he came out.
Yeah.
He had a bogey, but then his front nine was ripping it. He's like,
So
600 or 6 or 7 birdies on
Viktor
the front.
Hovland comes in 9,600 on DraftKings. He was 67 round one, 69 round two, -6 in the tournament. But really, it's not reflective of where he was today at one point.
Yeah.
He's got an eagle and 9 birdies, 5 bogeys. He is playing really good golf, and then he's just, he's got bogeys on the card that's keeping him he really feels like he should be in contention in this tournament within a couple strokes of the lead.
Yeah.
He's tied for first in green regulation, tied for fourth in driving accuracy, which we know how important that is on this course. And then you look at his scrambling and his short game. He's tied for 129th scrambling and 83rd in putts per GIR. So
that's kind of his MO, which is
it is his MO a bit, but he's actually improved. So last season he was losing around the green and he was pretty neutral putting, and this season so far he's actually been gaining around the green and still fairly neutral as a putter. So with his ball striking, if he is neutral in his short game, he's going to put up scores, So I think it's just one of these ones where, a few of those, he failed to get up and down for par a few times and just is not, just a little bit sloppy with the putter. But, we've said it before, he did win at the Puerto Rico Open on this grass. Yep. So there's no reason to think that this grass is going to present unique problems because he's had success before. The other thing, his splits are just absurd. He's -9 on the front, +3 on the back. And so I went and looked at last year, and he was the opposite. He was actually +3 on the front and 3 under on the back. He ended up missing the cut. He was even par, I believe, on the tournament. But so there's no reason to think that there's anything especially difficult about the back. Well, I mean, the back line does play harder, but
but not that significant.
It shouldn't be a 12-stroke spread.
I still like the play. I mean, I like Ancer in the same price range, but I like Hovland. Like I said, I think his floor is so high and his ceiling is as high as pretty much anyone's in this field. So if I'm making multiple showdown lineups tomorrow, I'm squeezing him into at least one for sure.
And he, because he was 3 over, if people weren't watching him today, they might think that 69 was... Oh, it's a 69. It was nothing special. It was special. He was playing unbelievable there for a while. Okay, your next one.
Yeah, my second pick, Corey Connors, 8,800. A guy I really like going into the tournament. I said I'm going to keep riding the hot hand. A little bit worried after round 1, 71. But his hot hand came through in round 2. He's 66. I think he actually had 8 birdies today on Friday. Still a lot of bogeys, but he's 5 under for the tournament. He's got 11 birdies, 6 bogeys. His 11 birdies are actually tied for 4th in the field. So even if he's making bogeys, he still makes so much birdies that in showdown, you get those points that, you're going to get that possibly 40-point lineup, and he's only 2 under because he's got 6 birdies and 2 bogeys or something. He just...
And a birdie streak.
Ball striking is... And a birdie streak. Yeah, exactly. I think his ball striking is really good. I really like to see him improving in round 2. I like that to go forward on Saturday. But importantly, I mean, the 3 key statistics that we get from this tournament, he improved in driving accuracy, he improved in greens and regulation, and he improved putting as well in round 2. So everything's kind of turning in the right direction. It's a pretty decent price. So I'm going to continue to ride the hot hand with Connors again.
I like it. I like the play. I like the form he's in. I think there's no reason to think that he's not going to continue to go low tomorrow. Billy Horschel, 8,100. So I was not on Billy Horschel coming into the week. And, he's been solid but unspectacular. To me, this is just his price has fallen too far. I want to say he was somewhere like 87, 88-ish, maybe 89 going into the week. And so he's gone 69.70. He's -3 so far. Eagle, 4 birdies and 3 bogeys, which 3 bogeys is actually pretty good out there. There's a lot of people putting up a lot of bogeys. Good ball striking. He's tied for 27th in greens and reg, and he's not having the best go of it putting out there. Again, no strokes gained stats, so we're working with what we have. But I dug a little bit further because I didn't love his price going in. I didn't dig deep on him on his course history or anything. So I dug a bit further. He's got 20 rounds here, 19 of those 20 rounds are that should say at or under par.
Okay,
but his scoring average is 68.8. So he had one round where he was one over par, and besides that, he's been playing really well at this course. So he was top 10 last year. He was 21st, I think, the year before. So I just think he's one of these guys that's going to be a very steady, continuing to move up the leaderboard through the weekend, with the potential that he gets hot a bit and it goes for a -4 or -5 on the round.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, he's kind of he still has been a complete afterthought for this tournament. I didn't really even think about him for Saturday, but you bring up good points, and I think his ownership, because of that, a lot of people will be feeling that way, will be pretty low. And I like the fact that he's only gone over par once in 20 tries here. So maybe not a flashy play, but I mean, to get a veteran like Billy Horschel at 8,100 at low ownership, that could be a lot of leverage.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing, is that ownership is so key on these showdowns. So that if you do get someone like him at low ownership, then it's really, if he does play well, you're really gonna have a good shot to be high in the GPPs.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, my third and final one. I'm going right back. Sepp Straka, 7,300 on DraftKings. He was 73 after round 1. I talked about him for round 2. He's 68. He's 1 under. He got through to that cut. I was sweating it. It looked like he had no hope. The bottom point here, 3 birdies is in his last 5 holes to make the cut. I was sweating it. Oh, man, but he's in. He's in. And I said he wasn't hitting fairways. And then when he not hit fairways, it's harder to hit greens. And then he was not doing well putting. He improved in every single statistic. So he improved in driving accuracy, improved in greens and reg, improved in putting. With his 9 birdies, I mean, I was talking about Corey Connors with 11 birdies, is tied for 4th. 9 birdies is great for someone who just made the cut. I mean, again, if he hits fairways, watch out. Yeah. I mean, that 9 birdies is dangerous, but he does have those big numbers. He has
and I was going to say that's Sepp Straka it's the streakiness. So embrace the volatility.
Yeah, and I mean, it's much harder on tournament longs, but showdowns you can be like, okay, he has a good day or he doesn't. But I'm going to continue to go on showdown. 7,300, 1 under. I think he improved. Let's roll the dice. Let's see what he does on Saturday.
Yeah, I have to say I was running some errands, and then I was trying to put up some Christmas lights and clean the gutter. So I was listening to PGA radio, and last time I had looked to check my lineups, I thought Sepp Straka for my tournament longs. I was like, he's missing the cut for sure. And then I was very happy to see. I was like, I did not expect that to happen.
I was like, okay, he's got a couple par 5s, but he needs to get 1 other, I think. So he got that 1 other.
My last one here. So this is a guy that I am really shocked that his ownership did not pop today. So Akshay Bhatia, DraftKings, he's $6,400. If you didn't know already, he Monday qualified into this. I think he's 19-year-old still.
He's 18.
Okay, sorry.
January,
okay. So he's an absurdly young player. He's gone 67, 69, -6. He had a top 10 at, I want to say it was Safeway. It was either Safeway or Sanderson Farms. Those two kind of blend together in my mind. But 11 birdies, 3 bogeys, 1 double. He's been super solid statistically in terms of, you see someone young playing that well, and you're like, are they just making a lot of putts? And he is putting well, but he's tied for 18th in driving accuracy. He's tied for 17th in greens and reg, and he's tied for 10th in putts per GIR. So to me, it's just this guy's playing solid. And so when I was actually making my lineups yesterday, I wanted to plug him in more, but I'm like, oh man, everyone, he shot 67 on his opening round. Everyone's going to jump on him. This is only just in the tournaments I played, but his tournament long, he was less than 0.5% ownership, and it jumped up only to 3.5% for Friday showdowns. So it's obviously, I think it's going to jump again because we'll lose a lot of people from down in that range, but
for sure.
I thought it would have jumped more. So I went to unfortunately, I went to Michael Gligic in a few of them because they were right at the same price. I'm like, Bhatia's ownership is going to be much more. And then Gligic had higher ownership. So,
it's kind of crazy. I have him for tournament. We talked about him on Wednesday night Twitch show. I had him for Friday showdown. I was shocked at that ownership. I was like, all right, I'll kind of get Bhatia for free pretty much. I'll see how it goes, and hopefully he can have another good round. He did. One thing I would be kind of 2 concerns was whenever they do show him on coverage, obviously it's when he's draining putts, but he is draining a fair amount of putts. So it is hard to know how that will keep up. But hey, usually if they're putting well through the tournament, that usually is a trend that keeps up. And then at 6,400, he might find that ownership. But
and I think this might be the one where we really do see the ownership jump. But if you weren't already aware, then be aware and plug him in.
Hop on and leave some salary behind. I mean, why not? All right. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Make sure to subscribe to our channel. Ring the bell for upcoming videos. We're going to do Showdown throughout most PGA tournaments, including next round. So ring the bell, and you'll know when our videos are coming out.
Yeah. Good luck, guys. We'll see you tomorrow.
All right. See ya.